So I had a book limit this year rather than a book goal because I've been trying to cut back as it's somewhat of an addiction. Last year my goal was 210 books and I ended up reading 219 books. So this year I thought to cut back to 200 books, but failed miserably as I ended up reading 243 books. 6 books that I reread this year all got upgraded to the coveted 5-star status. 45 books received a 4-star status, which is the highest level a book can reach on the first read for me. 146 books received a 3-star status, which means I liked them. 43 books received a 2-star status, which means I really didn't like them. 3 books got 1 star, which means I hated this book so much that the world would have been a better place if these had just never been written. In a future video, we will talk about those 6 rereads that got 5 stars, but this video is about my favorite books that I read for the first time in 2017, so let's get to it. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is a first book for Sally Thorne, and if this is what she's like on a debut, holy cow, I cannot wait to see the rest of her career. This is super cute, contemporary romance. I love that the 2 main characters are both assistants. There's no balance of power issues in the workplace for this book. The dialogue is exquisitely witty, and the Nemesis competitive plot makes for well-structured tension and sets up some hilarious situations. This book is funny, well-written, engaging, and should be on the top of your romance TBR if you haven't already read it. Enron, Smartest Guys in the Room by Frederick P. Miller. I had to have at least one nonfiction book on this list, and this is a fascinating story about greed and, frankly, slow burn idiocy. As the title would indicate, this is the story of the rise and fall of Enron, a company whose name is now synonymous with corporate malfeasance. Get ready for a lot of really minute details about business deals, 480 pages of them, but they're all needed to build up the full story of what actually happened at Enron, and that overall story is well worth the slog. Highly recommend. Rhythm, Chord, and Malakin by Mariana Zapata. Mariana Zapata is one of my favorite new romance authors I have discovered this year. If you like the new adult genre, I cannot recommend her enough. This is one of my favorite books by her. Gabby goes on tour with her brother's band to help sell merchandise. She doesn't count on touring 3 continents with a lead singer who she is not only attracted to, but she just clicks with. What I really like about Mariana Zapata is her slow burn romance. It's not insta-gaga, we're in bed. There is a gradual progression from strangers to friends to finally the romantic stuff. This is my preferred method of plot progression for romance, and Mariana Zapata is a master of it. Go check her out, and this book is a good place to start. The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You by Lily Anderson. Trixie wants 2 things out of her senior year: to be able to buy a set of Doctor Who figurines and to place higher in her class than Ben, her arch nemesis. The war is on. Then Trixie's best friend starts dating Ben's best friend, and they must come to a truce. Until Trixie's best friend gets expelled, and Ben must decide whose side he's on. It took me 70% of this book to realize that this thing was an adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing. I don't know how I missed it. That plot is so really distinctive. Lily Anderson does right by this classic storyline though. I read this thing in one day. It was that good. I am a sucker for well-executed adaptation, and this is most definitely that. This is contemporary YA, so if that sort of thing floats your boat, add this one to your TBR. Silver Silence by Nalini Singh. The Psy-Changeling series is 16 books in and as good as ever. This is my favorite paranormal romance series of all time. The romance is done superbly, but the series is just supercharged by the very well done overarching storyline and world building that keeps you deeply invested after a dozen+ books. What I love about this specific entrant into the series is that our 2 leads are non-English as a first language speakers, which I really can't think of another romance novel I've read where that's the case. I loved this. It gives a freshness and a new perspective, which I loved. This is set in Russia with Silver Merchant, who we've met in past books, and Valentine, the alpha of the Stonewater Bears. I also love that we've gone beyond just the wolves and the cats, and now we have bears. Just dive into this world. If you haven't already, you will not regret it. Remnant Population by Elizabeth Moon, science fiction. Ophelia has lived on colony 2345.12 for over 40 years. years. Now she's old, and Sims Bancorp Company has decreed that Colony 3245.12 must be shut down and its residents be shipped off to another planet. Affiliate is like, I am too old for this shit, and I'm sick and tired of people anyway, so I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna hide out and stay here, which she does, and she loves it until one day a reconnaissance ship comes to the planet and is mysteriously slaughtered. She realizes she is not as alone as she thought she was. You don't see a lot of main characters in fiction that are old women. That's not a viewpoint we get often. Plenty of old men, but not many old women. That alone makes this book unique and intriguing, but that's also backed up by some seriously good science fiction writing. Highly recommend. The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. This is a navel-gazing book for book lovers in the best possible way. A.J. Fickery is the rather grumpy proprietor of Island Books, which is not really on the way to anywhere and doesn't really sell very many books because of it. His wife has died and he's getting more and more reclusive. Then along comes Amelia, the sales rep for Nightly Press, who is trying to sell him books that he's frankly being a bit of a book snob about. And then a very small someone comes into his life and slowly starts to pull him out of his shell. This is lovely, lovely, and a must-read for anyone who loves books. It just makes you feel like the whole book is a hug that you get to experience for however long it takes to read the book. Perfect. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I'd liked the Grisha series, but wasn't head over heels in love, so I didn't go into this book with very high expectations. And oh my god, did it blow everything I expected out of the water. This thing is like the YA fantasy Ocean's 11. It's exhilarating, both the plot and the characters. You fall in love with Kaz and root for Inej. This is a duology, so it's a quick read and not an excessive commitment. This proved to me that Leigh Bardugo is one of the top YA authors of our generation. It's a must-read if you like YA even slightly. Gemina Book 2 in the Illuminae Files. If you haven't read Book 1, are you crazy? It's one of the best sci-fi YA books ever written. I was nervous that Book 2 would not live up to the hype, but it so does. This book deals with a new set of main characters than Book 1. These characters reside on Jump Station Heimdall and are about to run smack dab into the conflict between the Hypatia and Bitech that started in Book 1. We have Hannah, pampered but badass, daughter of the station captain, and Nick, member of a low-life crime family who is hopelessly in love with Hannah, but she's not giving him the time of day. But when the station is invaded, they of course have no choice but to work together against the elite Bitech strike team. This book made me firmly a fan of Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, rather than just an Illuminae fan as I was before. I can't wait to read more in the series and more books by both of them. My favorite book of this year was When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. I probably just butchered that pronunciation. This had a magic to it that I haven't felt in a YA book since I first read Fangirl, and I just ate this up. When Dimple Met Rishi has unique main characters, not only in the fact that they are diverse, which is a rarity in YA books, but also in the personalities of the main characters. Rishi is the type of male lead I keep wanting more of in my fiction. I'm just sick and tired of one-size-fits-all macho silent types. Rishi is a developed, nuanced character, and Dimple is just frankly dang relatable. I won't tell you what the book is about beyond the fact that this is contemporary YA, has two Indian main characters, and arranged marriages are a theme in this book. Read it! I cannot believe this is the first book for this author. I cannot wait to read more. Those were my favorite books in 2017. What were your favorite books in 2017? Let's discuss!